Hola, everybody. Yeah, I ain't been on in a little bit, except when I did my little accidental Britney Spears thing. Oops, I did it again, and fell asleep for I don't know how many hours, but I always forget to put my teeth in first. But yeah, sorry about that. Can't do that tonight though, cause he's got a whole bunch of shit going on. It's all kicking him in the teeth at the same time. But hope everybody is doing good. I was just talking to a buddy of mine, somewhat doing that little where the fuck's the Y thing on my phone with him. Tell him a little bit about what's going on with one of my issues. So, how about this? Lighten the mood. Just throw a joke in every once in a while. Start it off with a joke. What does a fat girl and a brick have in common? Both of them are going to get laid by a Mexican. Just saying. Ooh. I might have pissed some people off out there if anybody ever actually watched my channel. That's fun. That's called funny humor right there. Just saying. No, but for people that don't know, my roommate hasn't been here for over 5 months now, and she was having some medical issues. She's had mental issues ever since I've known her, but they ain't done shit for that. So I've already seen that. Why am I getting a pop up for that now? Grit Biscuit, if you're out there, I already saw the knife one, and I want that fucking buck. Buck, I can't remember the number. It's like 115. I think it is. It's like the original, the classic buck. I kept in my Jeep at all times. Some bastards went in there and stole a shit ton of shit out of my Jeep, and I didn't even notice it. The knife was the first thing I noticed was gone. Then I found out I had $20 in change and loose cash and shit like that. Half my bug out gear, my bag, hatchet, my axe, my machetes, my knives. But all my gear, even the homemade shit that I made back in the day, 7 years ago, I still had it all. Had my pack in my Jeep, ready to go. Gone with the wind. Dirty cock sucking, dick licking. But that's been a while now since that happened, so I will say I'm kind of over it, but I'm not. It still pisses me the fuck off. Like $3,000 worth of shit. You don't realize how much that shit costs until you start going and looking into trying to replace it. And you're like, holy, my fishing pole, god damn, collapsible fishing pole. I mean, oh, But yeah, I've just had a bunch of shit hitting me at once here lately. And this one that's starting in the morning, finally, for those who don't know, my roommate's disabled, physically, mentally. Um, and she's been, like I said, she's been to the emergency room. They've been putting her in rehab, nursing home / rehab facilities to try to get her to walk again because the hospital left her in a bed for a month and would not let her out to bed. Wouldn't let her stand up, walk, nothing. And after a month of laying in the bed, when you're an overweight amputee, a diabetic, overweight amputee, obese, you tend to lose strength in your legs. So they sent her home, but she couldn't stand on her own. So she needed physical therapy. And long story short, she's been gone for 5 months, and the place she's at still aren't trying to help her walk. Only reason she's there is to relearn how to walk, as she puts it. Not even doing it. Mainly because the few times they did, she started having blood pressure issues. Every time she stood up, her blood pressure would drop. And they couldn't figure out why. It wasn't until this week they finally scheduled her to go see a cardiologist to figure out what's going on with her blood pressure. And that's appointment's not until a month from now. So, and of course, her sister's calling and telling her, oh, they're tired of your shit. They're kicking you out. You're going home this weekend. And I told her, I'm like, your sister doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. They're not going to be scheduling you for appointments and start having physical therapy. That has stopped coming. And start having physical therapy coming in again and scheduling you for doctor's appointments and shit like that if they're sending you home this weekend. Plus, I called the place to find out because if she was, I had to clean some shit up. So, before she got here. But she's not. So, I'm lucky there. Kind of. Nah, but what I was talking to my buddy, Mr. I'll just give him initials. DJ was my roommate's mom had been talking about helping her out and getting her one of those walk-in tubs. You know, those tall ones with the door and the bench. Because my roommate's 6 foot tall. Okay. And with only one leg, even before, if she sat down in a regular height chair, she couldn't stand up on her own. She needed somebody to help lift her up. That's why she's got a booster seat on the toilet. I made a booster for her computer chair in the living room out of foam and towels, essentially. Because not only did you have to boost it, but you got to tilt it back because she's front heavy. And if you made it flat, she just go. Yeah, that was fun. And she's got a hospital bed that when she backs up to it, it's like right under her butt cheek. So she just leans back into it and just throws her legs up. It's not really like pushing yourself up. So, but they're not even trying to get her up to walk. They're trying to get her to sit in a wheelchair. I'm like, who's going to get you out of the wheelchair? And what does getting in a wheelchair have to do with making you walk again? And that's what she's bitching about. And her family's throwing a fit because, well, why don't you just get in a wheelchair and use the wheelchair? She's not there to roll around in a wheelchair. She's there for them to help her strengthen her legs. That's why it's called a rehabilitation. Rehab to strengthen her legs so she can walk again. But no, her mom they had talked about getting this walk-in tub. Well, 3 months ago, her mom finally said she was going to do it. My roommate had me get on the computer to look up the perfect tub. It was the cheapest one she could find. It had the bench, had everything she wanted. The door, made sure the plug was in the right place or the drain, and all of that. So all these people had to do was walk in, pop out the old tub, pop in the new tub. Granted, there might have been some sheetrock work, and I just realized, the bathroom door is too small. So they would have to do some framing work on the door. Well, this gentleman that her mother got looked at that drawing or looked at that tub and said, "Oh no, I don't like the way that one looks," because the one I picked out was only at $1,700. He's like, "Yeah, it just looks cheaply made." He said, "It's just fiberglass and like metal bar." Okay. What do I care? It's not my money, right? So he chose a different tub. So they ordered it. It took a month to get here. And then when it got here, it was damaged. So they had to send it back and get the new one in. Guess how long that took? Another month. So 2 months of waiting. Finally gets it in, and everything was supposed to be straight, and her mom was supposed to come and get the dog so the dog wouldn't be running around the house and stuff while they're doing all this. Well, that's when we find out. Well, he brings the tub. They pulls up. Nobody calls or tells me jack shit. I'm just sitting here where I'm at right now, and I start hearing something out in the yard. So I get up and I go look, and here's these two guys hauling the bathtub up the front porch. Okay. So I walk out there and look, and I open the door, and I'm like, "That's not right." He's like, "What you mean?" I said, "She wanted the one with the bench. That was the only reason she wanted the thing, because she can't sit in a regular tub. She can't even sit in a regular chair and get up on her own." But he got her a regular standard size, like this tall tub with this tiny little flap door. And it's got water jets and lights and all of this stuff built in. It's over a $4,000 tub that she couldn't use. So instead of just getting the one that he had the part number, everything. No, he wanted to go with this one. So he ordered that one. That's the one that came in wrong. Had to get it sent back and get a new one sent. Gets here. It's the wrong fucking tub. That's over twice the fucking price. That she can't use. So he has to send that one back. And at this point, he had ordered a porta-john to be brought out because, according to him, they need to turn off the water, you have to have a functioning toilet. Okay. I get that. But that's been sitting out in the yard for a month, not being used, just out in the driveway. So we finally get Thursday. Once again, no call from anybody. Just hear the dog barking. I'm like, what the hell? Go and look. Here, lo and behold, here they come. This time they make me come out to the truck so they don't drag it up and make sure they got fucked up again. And it's pretty much the one that I had picked out. The faucet plumbing parts are different, but we'll see how that works out. But come to find out, instead of just doing like tub out, tub in, no, this guy has talked her mother into, he's tearing everything out of the bathroom, all the way down to the studs, insulation, everything out of the bathroom. So sink, tub, toilet, walls, down to the studs, and redoing the whole thing. Just to switch tubs. And they're cutting the water off first thing in the morning, and then they're going to come and start the demolition. Now, I don't know how many of y'all that work construction or have worked construction, and I've actually assisted redoing a floor when I was in Indiana, and because the house had an overhang, but they didn't put any braces under it, so over the years the overhang was drooping, so we had to jack it up and redo the whole dining room floor. I helped do that. I used to hang sheetrock. I've done painting. And when I did sheetrock, here's the thing. I did bathrooms and closets. Why? Because I was the only one, especially closets, that could actually just stand in there and just one hand hold shit up and nail it by myself. But I can tell you, this bathroom in here, I could sheetrock by myself in an hour. Okay. And he's telling her mom that, oh, well, he's got to redo all of the plumbing. No, the plumbing's there. The only thing he'll have to do is shorten it. So he doesn't have to buy anything. It comes with a kit to attach. Everything attaches. He'll just have to shorten what's there, because your normal shower head is up above your head. Well, this one is going to attach to the tub. So all the plumbing's there. He's taking shit out. He's not adding anything. So he's talked her into all of this. And now, according to him, I'm not going to have water for 2 to 4 weeks. Fine. Undo plumbing. I've done. Moving tubs and toilets. I've done. It's not that big of a deal. But he's telling her 2 to 4 weeks, and it's going to be 2 guys doing this. For something that shouldn't take more than 2, if there are problems, 4 days maximum. But I tried telling Montina that. Montina tried telling her mama that. And the only thing her mama ever says is, well, do you do this for a living? Do you do this for a living? This man does this for a living. What, fuck over old ladies? Sure he does. He already talked you into a tub that was wrong over twice the price of the one that she wanted. Now he's talked you into completely gutting the entire, just to switch out a tub. He's talked her into gutting out the entire fucking bathroom and redoing it. And apparently just found out today she signed a contract. He's coming in the morning. Johnny knew he was coming in the morning. And the bad thing about this woman is she actually tends to pay people ahead of time. So that means she's already paid him and signed a contract. I told Montina, that means she's fucked. What's she going to do? Bitch now because she just realized that she was getting fucked over? I guess I can get goddamn guarantee you who's going to be paying for that damn porta-john that they come and clean, have been coming and cleaning every week. Hasn't been used, but they're coming to clean it. I wonder who's paying that bill. I told my roommate, I was like, yep, your mama got fucked royally. Oh, and I know I didn't mention it, but if anybody wants to jump in and commentate or anything, I put a link to the chat in the chat, so feel free. Anybody that might want to jump in. So yeah, after 3 months, finally getting a tub or we're getting construction work done to the house. Completely unneeded, unnecessary, and her mom was going to pay out the ass for, but hey, she ain't got nothing better to do with her money. She can't take it with her, right? So. And then my next back surgery still on hold. Yeah, that's fun. Those who don't know about that, I'm supposed to be getting one of these spinal cord stimulators, well, a test trial implanted into my back. My insurance denied me, saying that I need to see a back doctor first. Ooh, that's not kind of good. Ooh, yeah, there we go. But yeah, that confused dog looks like, what? Huh? Like, I've seen back doctors. I've had 4 back surgeries. They're the ones that sent me to these people. So why the hell should I have to see a back doctor before getting this procedure done? They didn't mind the epidural shots that didn't work or the nerve blocker injections that didn't work, and that's not a problem. That's not a problem. Hell, my 4th back surgery. Yeah, go for it. Not a problem. But that was a trial that would only last a week. Oh, no, we're denying you. Why? According to them, well, you need to see a back doctor first. Oh, we don't have that in our records. You're my insurance. You paid for my fucking surgery. least my last one. And Anthem, I had Anthem. It was through a different plan for my first two. So essentially, y'all pay for almost all my surgeries, but you have no record of me having surgeries. So I call and I talk to them, and they tell me, "Oh well, all you need to do is you appeal it." Um, and I called and brought it up to them. Okay, I called them. I brought it up. I said, "Well, if you want to appeal it, all you got to do is have your doctor send the information as far as like your previous back surgeries and back issues and this and that, and they'll more than likely go ahead and prove it." I'm like, okay, like, is there any information that I can give you or access that I can give you? Because I've got my patient portal from the facility that did all my surgeries and all of this and all the tests I've done. And oh no, your doctor has to send that information in. Okay, so I contact my doctor. They send in the information. And I wait and I wait and I wait. About a month later, I hadn't heard anything. So I call my insurance again just to see what's going on. Because the company that makes the implant, they're going to be there for the trial, for the implant. I've had to download, first time I've ever downloaded an app with these people so they can keep in touch with me, check up on me every day, teach me how this device works and all this crap. They've been calling me, going, "Have you heard anything?" I'm like, "I haven't heard anything from my insurance, haven't heard anything from my doctor, haven't heard shit." So called my insurance Thursday. And listen while you fall asleep. Hell, you can do like me, dude. Just jump in and fall asleep. Why do you think my last chat was fucking 10 hours long, and I think we only talked for like 1 or 2 hours. Hello, Miss Julia. But shit, I lost my place now. People are watching me. I feel special. But oh yeah. So I call my insurance Thursday, and they're like, "Oh well, no. Apparently, you've been denied again." Or no, they didn't deny it. Your appeal was not revoked, but just basically cast aside because my doctor's office didn't give a form of written consent to my insurance to look into my records or my written consent. Wait, I'm like, why would they need my written consent? I'm the one that told them. She's like, "Oh, well, if you had called it in and appealed it, that would be one thing. But since your doctor appealed it, they need a written consent from you for us to give them your records or for us to obtain your records from them." I was like, "I'm the one that called my doctor because y'all told me to. I talked with y'all. I tried to give y'all the information. The lady that I spoke with said I couldn't do it. The doctor had to do it. So I waited a whole month. Got denied, and I still haven't received a letter yet telling me I was denied. Oh, God. Don't make any loud noises. What? I'll try my hardest. But, damn, Grit, you should have been in for the Mexican and brick. Fat girl and brick joke. That would have woke you up a little bit. But yeah, so I had this whole conversation with the woman. I'm like, I'm the one that called my insurance. My insurance is the one that told me the doctor had to appeal it. I couldn't do it. And all this. So I got off the phone with my insurance. I contacted my doctor. My doctors appealed it. And then you didn't have the consent. So I appealed it again. And the woman's like, that's just not right. Well, we'll go ahead and start it now talking to you. So that way, when your doctors send their information, because I started it with you, they won't need that consent. Okie dokie. She said, but it would be a good idea to just ask them if they could send that consent form when they send the information and stuff again. I'm like, well, if they've already sent the information, why should they have to send it again? You have it. All they would need to send is the consent form. I'm talking to you now. I'm giving you consent. Why can't you just mix the two together and let it go? Oh, we don't work like that. Yeah, it's too simple, right? So, yeah. She started the appeal and she said she's going to try to expedite it. So instead of waiting a month that it normally takes, it would probably be over in about 3 days. So as soon as I got off the phone with her, I call my doctor's office. I leave them a message telling them, hey, look, this is the situation. I just need you to resend the exact same information. And if you could, just to be on the safe side, a consent form. And like I always do, I give them my name, I give them my birth date, and I give them my contact phone number, which is my cell number, which is the number that they have for me on file. Because I don't use this house phone, I don't answer it unless I know who it is that's calling. And most of the time, when my roommate's here, I don't answer it at all. Because nobody calls me on that phone. Everybody has my cell. But apparently, my insurance decided they called me back on the house phone. Not the phone that they have on record, Not the phone that I left on the voicemail. Apparently, they called back like not even 30 minutes after I called them, but they called the house phone. And it wasn't my roommate or her family, so I didn't answer it. That's the only time I answered that phone. And if she's here, I don't even answer it for her damn family because they can't stand me, I can't stand them. So there's like mutual non-love there. And it's getting bigger and bigger every day. Believe me. But yeah, I do occasionally because this house phone rings Monday through Friday, anywhere from 20 to, I counted, it was like up to 63 times within a 12-hour period. And it's all just BS calls where my roommate gives her information out to anybody and everybody. So the phone rings nonstop, 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 nonstop. And I learned to tune it out, but since she's been gone, she calls the house phone so she doesn't use up my cell phone minutes, which I do appreciate, but unfortunately now every time the phone rings, I got to jump up to see who the hell it is. It's just, but yeah, I periodically have to go through and check the voicemails and delete them and delete them and delete them and delete them. Just like her emails, she gets an average of about 100 a day. Think about that. 100 emails a day. But I've got to go and delete, 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 delete because it's all bullshit. And me, I don't know if it's something she's actually subscribed to or something she wants coming in. Because me, I'd be marking spam on every fucking thing that came through there. But not her, so I periodically got to go. But when I went and checked the voicemails, of course, there was 3 of them on there from my roommate because I just didn't want to talk to her, so I didn't answer the phone. And she knew it and made sure I knew that she knew it in her message. But then all of a sudden, hi, this call is for me. I apparently just missed your call. You called about some paperwork or something about a procedure. I'm sorry I missed you. If you could, please give me a call back. I'm like, why the fuck are you calling that number? That's not the number I left. That's not the number you have on record. Why the? So I could have had this shit done with them Thursday, but I didn't check the voicemail until Saturday. And hey, actually it was Friday night around 8. Guess what? They were closed. Don't open up again until tomorrow. Just like all of our good old government shit that I've got and lawyers' offices. So tomorrow I get to call my insurance. And I got to pee. And then, woohoo, the one thing I've been fighting for what, almost 3 years now. No, it hasn't been 3. It's been over 2. This is what, 2003? Moved here in 2020. Been over 2 years. Just say that much. I'm going to go tinkle, and I'll come back and tell you all about it. Smoke them if you got them. Ow. 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 Yeah. Whew. Feel better. I just thought of another good perk about not having a roommate here. I ain't gotta put the toilet seat down. I ain't gotta put the toilet seat down. Actually, it doesn't really bother me if I did. I wouldn't have to worry about hitting it. Shit. The booster seat that she's got just sits on top and makes the whole half the size of a normal toilet seat opening. So if I can use that without hitting the rim, this I could write my freaking name. But no, here's another one of those for those who don't know. I when I moved here to Virginia, I was working and I started having back issues, and my job let me go against their own union rules and regulations. But it's not really anybody I could fight with now because that company shut down. Because, well, let's just say they weren't doing the shit right. First time I've ever been fired in my life. For following their rules. But I was starting to have my back issues, got fired. For a while, I couldn't walk. I was actually using some of my roommate's appliances because, like I said, she's disabled. She has a wheelinator. And for those of y'all that don't know what a wheelinator is, or a rollinator, whichever one you want to call it, it's a fancy roller or a walker. It's got wheels and it's got a seat on it, and you lift the seat and it's got storage. It's the Cadillac of walkers. You got brakes. Some have reflectors on them. I mean, and she's got 3 of them. And you would think her being 6 foot, she'd use the tall one. Nope. She likes the little short one that wobbles, which was kind of good because before, when I lost my job, I had no insurance. Found out I needed back surgery. Isn't it lovely how shit like that works out? Well, couldn't get back surgery because lost my job. I no longer have insurance. So I had to apply for Medicaid. Never in my life have I ever unemployment, Medicaid, applied for any kind of help, any kind of service my whole life. I've been working since I was 15 years old, on and off the books. I was screwed. I couldn't walk. I was walking around here like her using a freaking wheelinator because I physically could not stand up straight. I could not walk. I was in constant pain. I do think it had some other adverse reactions, but I don't want to go into that. There might be some ladies out there that might want to meet me one day. But yeah, I went through all that. I applied for Medicaid, told them the situation, showed them my records, got Medicaid. Cool. So I got insurance. Go back to my back surgeon, go through the steps. He's like, yep, you need surgery. Need another damn fusion. Yay! 2 microdiscectomies and 2 fusions. But this fusion was great. And I know I've told you before, but my last 3 surgeries, I had one little cut, just a little cut about that big in the middle of my spine on my lower back. That was from a microdiscectomy. They went the same route for my first fusion. They went the same route with my second microdiscectomy. Well, with my fourth surgery, my second fusion, my first one was my L4, L5 I had fused. Well, this time I had to have my L3 and L4 fused, which means they had to attach the L3, L4 to the L4, L5 fusion I previously had. So this surgery entailed, they didn't even touch that little cut. No, I got 2 bigger cuts, then 2 smaller cuts. So that's 4 cuts on my back, and then 1 cut through my side, so they could actually like move the. I think that was for moving the nerve bundle away while they did all this crap. They explained it to me, but you know the way doctors explain shit. They can't just say, you know that dangly thing that hurts like hell when the bone goes, Kah! Yeah, I know that. Couldn't say that. No, we have to do this to properly facilitate the area we needed to properly reattach this. That's why I got this tattoo. Yeah, fuck you. So yeah, I got 5 cuts this time. And with all the other surgeries, I woke up, I didn't hurt. Not a problem. This one, I woke up and went, who ran over me with a fucking car? I never took pain meds for any of them, even that one. All the other ones, as soon as I woke up, walked out the door and left. This one, they kept me there 2 days. And they sent me home. And then the next day, I went home, went to bed. Next morning, I went to get out of bed. I physically could not move my leg. My left leg was just dead. It was just there. Could not move it at all. And I thought maybe it's still like part of the anesthesia, numbing, something like that. And I waited for over half the day. And couldn't do it. Couldn't wiggle my toe. Couldn't do a damn thing. So, the very day after getting home from my surgery, I end up in the ER because I can't move my leg. So I get there, tell them the situation. They get in touch with my back surgeon. And my back surgeon sends a friend of his in to see me, asking me, well, can you feel this? And so they sit there and they rub the little pin up your leg. Can you feel this? Yeah, I feel that. Can you feel this? Yeah, I feel that. Can you feel this? Yeah, I feel that. And I couldn't even jerk my foot away. Trust me. I'm one of those people. Touch me anywhere. Do not touch the bottom of my feet. I can't even touch the bottom of my feet. You know, they say ticklish people, they can touch your feet and it doesn't tickle. I can't even touch the bottoms of my feet. I'll kick myself in the head. And he's sitting here taking this pen going, do you feel this? And I'm like, yes. Leg didn't fucking move. Fucking beat it with the hammer in the knee. Just hung there. My foot's like other parts of me these days. Just they don't even put me in a room. They stuck me in a hallway for 2 hours. I said, "Oh well, your surgeon said your feelings should come back." How the fuck did it go away? Well, he did not know. I've got the feeling. It's just not working. There's a difference there. But who am I to argue with a doctor? So when I go home, and over a period of about, I don't know, it was like 3 or 4 weeks, I started to be able to figure out how to swing my leg. I just had to learn how to lock my knee so I could walk to the bathroom. And then I started getting a little bit of muscle control in my upper leg. I don't know what you call that part. I know the thigh is the inside, but I don't know what you call the front part and the back part of your upper leg. But I started getting a little bit of strength in that so I could swing my leg out. But, and I still can't lift my foot. Now, when you walk, your foot's level. Mine's level foot. Mm-hmm. Never heard of it before, but apparently it's a condition called drop foot. I can push down with it, but I physically cannot lift my foot up. And as far as the strength in my left leg, about half. So I've told people this my little beauty hanging back here on the wall is my leg brace that I've got to wear the rest of my life. That I need to go and get updated and fixed, but I had a lot of shit going on the past 5 or 6 months. But yeah, that's the whole situation. Half dead leg, chronic back pain. I can't stand in one place for more than 5 minutes. So taking a shower really sucks because I've got to go in, shave what little bit I do, like under my neck and a little bit on my cheeks, and when I do the back of my neck and things like that. Then I've got to go sit down and take a break. Then I get up and I'll go brush my teeth. And I got to sit down and take a break. Then I'll go turn the shower on, jump in, lather up. I just use body wash now for my head, for my whole body. I just lather up with my head and use the suds and sud all the important places and rinse off. Then I've actually got to get out soaking wet and sit on the toilet to dry off. So sometimes just taking a bath sometimes could take up to 2 hours. Or just taking a shower. Then a bitch a 5-minute shower can take 2 hours. So I contacted disability. And my doctor, my back surgeon, even told me, he's like, well, there's nothing else I can do for you. He's like, you can either just deal with the pain, you can try the brace, or he can do an exploratory surgery that had maybe 50% chance of working or doing anything. And he didn't recommend it. I was like, well, no shit. I've already done 4 back surgeries. First 3 went fine, doc. This last one, you fucked me up. And he tried telling me at first I had a pinched nerve in my leg. It wasn't the back. It wasn't the back. It wasn't him. He sends me to a colleague of his. That's the one that wrote me the prescription. You have to get, I never realized you had to get a prescription for a brace. That's okay. I went in his office but 5 minutes. And he started looking at me over. He's like, this ain't your leg. This is your back. Yeah, I know. But so I applied for disability. Twiddle my thumbs, twiddle my thumbs. And I applied for unemployment because my thinking at the time was, this is going to get better. This is going to get better. I'm going back to work. So I applied for unemployment for the first time ever. And yeah, they got some fucked up rules there that change every time you talk to them. But long story short, I applied. They told me that I had to go out and apply for at least 3 jobs a week. And I explained my situation. I'm like, I can't. I can't stand for more than 5 minutes. I can walk up to about 20 minutes as long as I'm like leaned over and holding on to something. I keep a cane in my Jeep. I just turned 44, 18th of last month, and I have to walk with a cane and a brace. And at this point, I haven't had any income in over 2 years. But yeah, I applied for unemployment. Unemployment said no. And then I get a call from them going, we were looking through your job history. Did you ever apply or work at this such and such gas station? Or is it like a mechanic place? I'm like, no. I know nothing about working on cars. You're talking to a guy that literally, first time I ever tried to change my oil, do it myself, I drained my transmission. Not joking. Not mechanically. I've got a little better. I know how to check my fluids and check my tires. I know how to change a tire, and I know where the fluids go. I did change a starter once. That's because somebody had to show me how. There was only 4 screws on the truck that I had. It was pretty cool. I felt so accomplished. I was like, yes, I can do this. I could be a mechanic. Because I couldn't tell you what half the other shit is or what it does. I was raised by a single mother. I know jack shit about cars, but I could whip up a meat. Well, I used to be able to whip up a meatloaf when I could cook. Make some pretty good fucking fried potatoes and onions. Everybody loved my mac and cheese. Well, mac and shells. Brussels sprouts. Bacon wrapped asparagus. Cheese filled bacon wrapped jalapenos. God, I miss cooking. I miss real food. Homemade potato wedges. Now I live on Hot Pockets. I always say frozen burritos, but it's actually frozen chimichangas. And hot dogs and frozen French fries. Anything I can just toss in the air fryer, turn on, and go sit down until I hear the ding. I don't even use a microwave anymore unless I get the munchies. I get the cup of noodles. That way I don't have to dirty up dishes. It's in a cup. Put water in there, throw that fucker in the microwave for a minute and 20 seconds. Add some hot sauce, some black pepper, occasionally some garlic salt. Depending on which kind I get. Sometimes soy sauce. I gave up on the soy sauce, but don't have enough room in my mini fridge. Yeah, that's what I live on now. Hot Pockets, chimichangas, hot dogs, and fries. With cheese. And Cheez-Its. Occasionally, I splurge and I'll snap into a Slim Jim. Oh yeah, brother. Oh yeah. Snap into a Slim Jim. Spicy. And I always buy spicy every fucking thing. I swear to God. Even when I get Cheez-Its, the little crackers. Before they made Goldfish, they made the same thing but square. Oh, Cheez-It. Found out they had a spicy those, so every time I get Cheez-Its, I get spicy Cheez-Its. And if I get pickles, the only pickles, well, I hate bread and butter pickles. Can't stand them. But baby dills, I just love little baby dill pickles. Especially the zesty hot dill zingers. They used to have some, it was baby dill pickles with Texas Pete. I used to eat the shit out of them motherfuckers. Yeah, I'm serious about food and make myself hungry. Should have a full belly. Oh man, I had the best shrimp in the world. And then I had sushi on top of it. Full belly. Yeah, I'm a redneck that eats sushi. And I eat shrimp. I saw a joke a meme one time. Some girl saying, shouldn't eat shrimp. This is a picture of a flea. This is a picture of a shrimp. Shrimp are just bugs of the ocean. Shrimp are bugs, not food. And another guy made a comment to her going, bitch, I eat ass on the first date. There ain't no way you're scaring me away from a shrimp. That's me. Both categories. But, no, but shit. Okay, fuck food. Disability. After waiting a year, I got denied. According to them, even though I can't, I got the thing with my leg, which that I could deal with. As long as I've got the brace, my foot's not dragging, and I make sure I watch where I step and how I step so my knee doesn't give out when I walk. Because I've got like 50% less strength in this leg now. I can deal with that. It's just the chronic pain. Not being able to sleep, even sitting in a chair for more than 5 or 6 hours. If I do, I can't stand up straight when I try to stand up. And after that, I've actually got to physically lay down in bed and stretch out to get the pressure off of my damn spine. Can't stand for 5 minutes. I can't walk for more than 20 minutes without holding on to something. Can't sit in a chair for more than anywhere from 4 to 6 hours, depending on how much alcohol I've had that day. But according to disability, I can still work my regular types of job. Really? When I was in Indiana, the company that I worked for there and when I moved here, Indiana, I was slinging, I mean, occasionally I would do the slinging 100-pound boxes for 10 hours a night. I preferred the back because 100-pound boxes, they would run out later and you would start helping other people stack stuff. I preferred the back. Those boxes were about 75 to 95 pounds, thousands a night, just stack, stack. And of course, you got to look, separate, stack, separate, stack, separate, stack. So 10 hours a day, 6 days a week. Loved it. Of course, when I moved back here to Virginia, I moved to a chicken plant, and those boxes were a bit lighter, quite a bit. You know, I think the heaviest one they had was like 44 pounds. In my department, there was another department that did the same thing. I didn't realize each department boxed and palletized their own stuff because the plant that I worked at before, there was only one department that did all the palletizing and stacking. But I would actually go in and sub just to go stack the 60-pound boxes. And they knew what kind of work I did. And according to them, no, with your situation, you can still do the same kind of work you did. You're denied. Mm-hmm. So I appealed it, waited, waited, waited. And this is what screwed me over because the way out, it was explained to me by Social Security. You've got SSI, which they call supplemental something insurance, and there's SSDI, which is Social Security Disability Insurance. And the way they explained it to me was that the SSI was short-term disability. They told me I should apply for the SSDI because that's your long-term. If you can't work again or whatever. But because that normally takes longer, you should also apply for SSI. That way you'll have some kind of money coming in while you're waiting. Well, apparently, after I was denied for both the first time, I appealed, and when I talked with the people, they're like, "No, that's not what that means." No, he said there is no short-term Social Security. I'm like, well, which one am I supposed to be applying for? And then he just said, "Look, just apply for both." Okay, so I reapplied for both. And waited and waited and waited. And over 2 years later, I got a denial letter for my SSI, which is the one that I believe was well, it was after I got that denial letter that I found out that what I was told wasn't true. But I got a denial letter for the SSI. And it says, this does not apply to your SSDI. And I'm like, okay, well, then this was supposed to help me and give me some kind of income for the past 2 fucking years while I was waiting for the disability. Kind of fucking pointless now. So I didn't bother with that. I was waiting to find out what was going to happen with my SSDI, my disability. Never heard anything, never heard anything, never heard anything. And then I had to update my Medicaid, and yeah, I get food stamps. It's a damn dog back there snoring. So I get Medicaid for insurance. I get $280 worth of food stamps a month, which works for me. A lot of people go, how does that work? Which I don't know. The people that checked out in front of me when I went to the store today spent $200 for half a basket full of groceries. Okay. Hell, I even had fucking Monster energy drinks and like a bunch of candy I shouldn't have got, but I spent half that. And I still got all my hot dogs, lunch meat, cheese, my tortillas, because I don't eat bread a lot, but I do get some hot dog buns. Got my hot dogs, got my Hot Pockets, got my chimichangas, I got everything. Cheez-Its, pickles, Slim Jims, Charleston Chews. It's been half of what they fucking got. God damn. But yeah, I had to update all my Medicaid stuff, and I figured, okay, there's got to be a place on Social Security to look and see the status of whatever's going on. So I go and I look it up online, and I find it, and I log in and create an account and all this crap. And I see where, yep, you applied for this at such and such, and you applied for this at such and such, and you were denied for this, and you reapplied, and blah, blah, blah. And it showed my SSI and my SSDI that I was waiting on. Well, apparently, according to the computer, my SSDI disability was denied at the same time as the other one, but I never received a notice. I'm like, well, how am I supposed to appeal or deny something I was never told about? And I'm like, you know what? This is just fucking bullshit. So I got in touch with a lawyer. And the lawyer, he's like, well, if you haven't been served a notice, you haven't been notified yet. I was like, yeah, but the computer says, he's like, they've got to send you a notice to notify you. Well, I haven't gotten one. I got one for this, and I sent them all my paperwork, dated, and all of this. He's like, well, what you need to do is you need to call and ask for a copy of this notice that you didn't get. So I called and I asked for a notice, and I waited, and they said it would take like 10 to whatever business days. So I waited and I waited and I waited and I waited. Never got a notice. Called back again. So, yeah, well, I requested a notice be mailed to me because I have not been notified about my denial for my SSDI. We don't have any records of that in our logs. Well, I did, and I still haven't received it. Well, while I'm waiting, that law office calls me to tell me we've gone ahead and started your suit. I'm like, well, I thought y'all needed the paperwork to show that I hadn't received it and let y'all know when I finally received it. I was like, that's what this guy told me. She's like, oh, well, he's no longer with this firm. And she's like, we've already gone ahead and filed your suit. Okay. And the very next day, in the mail, there's the paperwork I was waiting on. So I call him back. I'm like, well, I got that paperwork. Would you like a copy of it? And on the paperwork, I even wrote received because it was dated from when it was denied, which was like February or some shit like that. And this was months later that I finally get the notice that I had to call and request twice before I finally got it. I got it, and then on it, I dated when I received it, and I sent it to my lawyer. So they had all of that. And then I get a letter from Social Security telling me, well, we understand you've retained an attorney, and we will no longer be contacting you when we deal with your lawyer. It works for me because half the shit y'all say, I don't have a clue what the hell you're talking about. So I've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. Saturday, go and check the mail. Woohoo! I actually got mail. One was from the Social Security Administration, which this I still find kind of weird. It's a letter from Social Security telling me that, oh, they've had the trial. Well, it went before a lawyer, and a judge, and the judge decided, or this type of judge can decide whether or not to go forth with the suit. And he decided my case did not meet the criteria to go for a hearing. And at first I'm like, fuck. And then I went, wait a minute. If this went before a judge, wouldn't I be getting this letter from a judge, especially if it's from another state? Because I'm in Virginia. My lawyer is, I think, in fucking New York. But apparently this judge is in like Kentucky. So the whole court date was going to go down on an online court. So yeah, Saturday I received this letter going, yeah, well, we're just going to go ahead and withdraw your case. It doesn't meet the criteria to go to a trial. Wouldn't that letter come to me from the judge of the state instead of Social Security? And another thing I found funny about it was the fact, if any of y'all have to deal with Social Security or disability or your own insurance, when they mail something out, what's the first thing they tell you? Oh, this can take 5 to 7 business days, or this can take 10 to 15 business days, or this can take up to 30 business days. Yeah. Saturday was the 9th. according to the paperwork, that was sent out on the 7th. So you're telling me this went before a judge? My lawyers haven't contacted me. Y'all typed up all this paperwork and sent it to me, and it got here from another state from the 7th to the 9th. So something's a little fishy there. So I called knowing they were closed, but I still left a voicemail. And I'm still going to call them tomorrow. I'm like, hey, this is me. Got y'all on retainer. And according to this, my case has been withdrawn. And so what am I supposed to do now? And all this. We, of course, gave them all my contact. So I don't know what all is going to be happening here tomorrow. God damn, where the hell you been, DJ? Still shitting green? No, but I was shitting chocolate milk earlier today. Basically peeing out my ass. Thank God I didn't try to fart. That would have been a mess. But if you look, Grit's going to sleep. Apparently he might have a job or something. Phone call. Some of us have friends. Yeah, I know. Closest thing I've got is you. And the dog. And I don't even like her. A pain in the ass. She snores. She takes up more of the bed than I do. And won't go outside to use the bathroom when it rains. Jump in, fucknut. There's a link at the top. I ain't staying on much longer. I got to get up in the morning, too. Not sure when. I was just told in the morning. So that could be anywhere from, a little over half an hour. A little under half an hour from now till 11:59 tomorrow. So I don't know when. Hell, they came and dropped the fucking porta john off at 7 o'clock in the morning. So no, I'm just bitching about all the shit that I've been going through. I can't remember which joke I told you. Oh, I didn't tell you one. I was going to tell you a joke on the phone. I started the chat off with it. You gotta get early. Now I figured my channel would have been, my page would have been shut down with that first one. It was just, first joke was, what do a fat girl and a brick have in common? You know the answer, DJ? Or did you fall asleep again? Well, fat girl and a brick have in common. They're both do what? What do a fat girl and a brick have in common? They're both going to get laid by a Mexican. Yeah, I started the chat off with that. Hey, I've laid brick. Wait a minute, I've laid a lot of fat women too. I might be Mexican. No, I can't speak Spanish. I know you quiero Taco Bell and uh, punto chupa mi pinga. Uh, Jose Cuervo. Yeah, that's about my extent. 3 bandido. uh, nah, not in the singing mood. All right, here's the. I'm sure you know wrestling and who wrestlers are, so here's a popular one. How does The Rock pee? He Dwayne's as Johnson. Yeah, that's a bad dad joke. Here's, here's, here's a raunchy West Virginia joke. How can you tell if your sister's pregnant? Your dad's dick tastes funny. Ooh, that's just kind of raunchy in a lot of different ways. Yeah, I'm going to hell. Look at this. Dude, I don't either. Let's put it this way. Back when it was like Hulk Hogan and Roddy Piper and Andre the Giant and Junkyard Dog and Mr. T. And back in the good old days, I did. And then a couple of buddies of mine watched wrestling for a little while. And last time I watched a wrestling match, they had 2 Undertakers. And apparently later on, one of those Undertakers became Kane. So it was, yeah. Then I quit watching TV altogether, so. Oh, so you don't watch gay men in tights playing with each other? Yeah, I'm not a football fan either. Never got. They wanted me to play when I was younger, but bad ankles. So. Oh, what were some of the? I mean, dude, there were some raunchy ones. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe this fucker said that shit. That's the kind of shit you're like, oh, that ain't fucking right. But deep down inside, you're going, fuck. I think how. Ooh. Here's one they said I thought was kind of wrong. It was what's 9 inches and can get me any girl I want? My knife. I had to think about it for a second. I was like, dude, that's fucked up. That's And there's dark humor, and then there's are you going to therapy kind of humor. But if you weren't in here, DJ, yeah, get some sleep. Long story short, I've been denied for my disability. Apparently, I my insurance is still fucking me over on my back surgery. I'm not gonna have water for 2 to 4 weeks, and I don't even bring up my damn phone. My phone keeps fucking me over. Things dying, and can't get it fucking replaced, and can't even update it, even though they advertise it. But of course, I can never speak to anybody that speaks English. So, all right, well, yeah, you're going to bed. Brother Grit's going to bed. I'm going to stay up for a couple more hours because I only sleep at the most, unless I'm like shit faced drunk, then I pass out. That doesn't count. So, yeah, I think I'm going to jump off here myself. The one person that's watching. Smoke this cigarette, drink this drink. Stop clawing at carpet. Damn cat. Don't you got a floor to shit in somewhere? Go away. So that's it for now, ladies and gents. I guess tomorrow I'll find out where the fuck my life's going from here, because as of right now, it's fucked. So, you do realize you're part Chihuahua. You're not supposed to shake the floor when you hit it. Fat ass. But so I guess nobody wanted to jump in. Of course, I realized people actually have lives and jobs and friends and shit like that. And I've got my roommate's animals that drive me fucking crazy. And a lot of issues. So, well, I've always had those, but I've learned to deal. It's just everybody else that has issues with my issues. Fuck them. They'll learn to deal. I'm one of those guys when if I'm with a girl, she introduces me and she secret tells them, he's really a nice guy when you get to know him, which is basically a nice way of saying, yeah, he's an asshole, but you get used to it. Yeah, that's me. So, good night, everybody. Hope everybody has a good one. Cheers. And I guess I'll try to jump on here some other time. I'm going to go watch some YouTube or stream a movie or something. Later. Where's it? Here it is. Adios. Oh, wait a minute. What was that? Ole, 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 ole.